Right, first and foremost, we like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Yahushai,
Bashim, Harakakodash. These are the names of the Heavenly Father and His beloved Son. Yahweh means He to be, He exists. The existing one, Bahasham is in the name, and Yahweh Shai is only God, the Savior, Son, Holy Word, and the cause, Lord, and Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shai is His name, which means He deliverer, He Savior. These are the powers that we serve, and these are the powers that we come in the name of. Right, with that being said, we just want to address a little video that we came across. We have a couple of and but in a camera, right? Yeah. So we just want to address this real quick. Let me go to this. Go to this video here real quick.
And Bashmath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebajoth. So wait a minute. He got 2 African wives and Ishmael's daughter. 2 African wives and Ishmael's daughter, and his seed still turns out to be the palest white man today on earth? Are you serious? Are y'all kidding me here? So he got 2 African wives and Ishmael's daughter, and y'all still saying he's the so-called white man today. That's ignorance. That's foolishness. That's very unlearned. That's eternal, internal hatred for another people. And I'm not giving white people a pass. I don't care about them. But we're trying to get to the truth and the bottom of what the Most High is saying and who He's saying to be the Edomites today, right? Because they all going into captivity. But let's stop preaching lies here and let's study and see what the Most High is saying. But Esau cannot be the so-called white man today with 2 African wives and Ishmael's seed. Even one of the IUIC members said that Ishmael, his seed are dark today.
Jacob taking hold of Esau's heel. Hello. I want you to, if you notice, among all the nations, every nation in history has a record of being dark. The Arabs are dark. The Africans dark.
So he mixed with Ishmael's seed being dark, and his seed comes out to be the palest white people today that you cursing out on the street corners and calling them the Edomites, basically saying they're Hebrews. This is foolishness and ignorance.
Right. So right, we hear he's saying this is foolishness and ignorance that Esau having African or Hamitic wives, right? And Ishmael's daughters as wives, right? That his seed, from what I'm getting, is that he's saying that his seed can't be white. This is what I'm getting, that he's saying that his seed cannot be white. Right? This is what I'm getting from what he's saying, right? So I just wanted to share. Let me share the screen. Look, go to Ishmael. You get into Ishmael, right? So this is Genesis chapter 25, verse 12. Now these are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, from Hagar the Egyptian, right? So the Egyptians were dark skinned as well, right? All the nations were dark skinned back then, right? Including Abraham, right? Sarah, and it's not about color. Mind you, let's get this from the start. It's not about color, it's about the seed, right? That is broken down in Romans. It's about the seed, right? You want to get that for me one time, Baba Kosha?
We what?
In Romans, it's not because we are Abraham.
Yeah. This is Romans chapter 9 and verse. I'll start at verse 7. It says, neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, but in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of power, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
Keep going and break it down.
Right? So the children that were counted for the seed was the child was counted for the seed was Isaac. Because Abraham had what, 8 children. When you go to Genesis 25, we see that he rest of children gifts, but he gave everything to his son Isaac. Right? They were the promise he sent off Ishmael. Now, as the brother said, that race, that don't matter right now because all nations have melanin except one nation, and that is going back to the curse Cain. Right? All nations have melanin, so you will get melanin.
Which is the point, because many of these teachers out here who weren't sent by Ishmael they don't seem to be getting the point. They say he that is sent speaking the words of the Lord, right?
That's right.
And they come with what? The spirit of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, according to Jeremiah 3:15, right? You can go. You finish your statement, Salak, yeah?
You can. So all nations have melanin, but you have one nation that is the white race, the so-called white race, where that curse was laid in the very beginning. Right? So if we could get to that from the beginning, because you say we want to get to the truth. Right? We don't have nothing against the white people. Yeah, we have some against the white people. If you don't have some against the white people, that means you lost. We have some against with the white people. The Lord said in Genesis 3:15, He will create enmity between her seed and thy seed. So you have something between us, even till now. That whole hatred, it's still up. He's stirring it back up in these times. Right? He said he will rise up.
Okay, then. Shalom. Shalom. Alright, audio seems to be cut out. I don't know. Shalom. I'm going to read in the meantime. This is Genesis chapter 25 and verse 13. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael by their names according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nebajoth, and Kedah, and Adibel, and Mismam, right? I'm just going to go to one name, that's Kedah, just to prove something real quick. Kedah, which is H6938. Kedah.
Strong's H6938. Kedar.
Right?
Kedar.
Dark, son of Ishmael, the descendants of Kedar, Strong's definition, right? Dusky, of the skin or the tent. Kedar is son of Ishmael, also collectively a Bedouin as the descendants of the representatives, right? So, so like, let's bear with me, trying something a new machine. Right, look up Bedouin. A Bedouin, a nomadic Arab tribe. So Ishmael are known as the Arabs, right, of the desert, and an encampment of Bedouin on the edge of the desert, relating to Bedouin song about the desert journey, right? So the Arabs, they dwell predominantly around the Shalom. Yeah, back. Right. All right.
See, I know we're going there, like I get thing out.
Yeah, Esau. Right. So basically, I went in on Kedah, right, meaning the dark skin. Right, but Kedah now, they're separate from Esau. Right now, Esau is the manifestation of the child of the curse.
Done.
Right? That's who Esau is. He's the manifestation of the child of the curse. So we're gonna get that in Genesis chapter 4. Okay? You need to understand what's going on. It's not about feelings, it's about understanding. It says Genesis chapter 4, verse 1, and Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel, and was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground, right? So we're gonna hit some points, some key points, right, for you to get the perfect understanding of what's going on, right? So, I don't know if you can get Sirach chapter 33 for me, Baba Koshak. Sirach 33 and start at verse 10, right? Because you have to understand that these two sons represented good and evil from the beginning, light and darkness from the beginning. They had a purpose, right? I know. Look at me up.
We ask Sirach 32.
33 and start at verse 10.
In Sirach 33 and verse 10, it says, and all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of the earth.
Go ahead. You're reading on. You're reading on.
And it says, in much knowledge the Lord had divided them and made their ways diverse. Some of them had he blessed and exalted, and some of them he had sanctified and set near himself. But some of them he cursed and brought low and turned out of their places. Ooh.
Right, break it down. You can break it down.
Yeah, and that one he put the curses on Esau, Edom. That is the one where he cursed and he brought low. Because Job expressed it in Job 30 that they are the basis of men, foolish men. In the curses in Genesis, he said he put the cattle over that nation of people. So that nation of people is the lowest, even a cattle over that nation, and that is the so-called white race.
Go ahead.
You want some more?
Yeah, you're reading on some more verse 14.
Right, it says, and the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure. So man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best.
Right?
Good is set against evil.
To render to them as he liketh them best. Right? So I'm going to jump to a quick precept real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 64. Right? Isaiah chapter 64 and verse 8. It says, but now, O Lord, at our Father, we are the clay and thou our potter. We are the work of thy hand. Right? So the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is the potter, right? He's the creator. You go to the word potter, Yasha, right? To form or fashion or frame. So the Lord fashion or frame each nation as he would have them to be, right? He said what? As Israel, as a people, right? He framed us in a way as according to righteousness, and he framed Esau in a way according to what? Wickedness. Okay? Right? You read over that verse and go ahead.
It says, verse 13, as the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him, to render to them as liketh him best.
Right.
Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly.
Right. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. Go ahead. Verse 15.
It's so look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two. And they are two and two, one against another.
There are two and two, one against the other. Right? So Cain represented evil, and Abel represented righteousness. Right?
That's
Cain
right.
represented darkness, and Abel represented light. Okay? This is Romans chapter 9, verse 11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. Right? It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So you don't hate wickedness. So you don't love wickedness, you hate wickedness, and you love righteousness. So he loved Jacob. So guess what? Esau represented what? Wickedness and evil, right? And his forefather was Cain, So let's see what Cain did to prove that he was wicked or evil, right? And Abel represented righteousness, but he was taken away, right, at the hand of Cain. And then that spirit of righteousness came back through the third son, Seth. Okay? Right? So let's get into it. It says Genesis chapter 4, verse 3. And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and his offering, but unto Cain and to his offering he had no respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth? Why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin light at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. Right? Cain didn't do well. He was not accepted. And Cain talked with his brother Abel, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against his brother Abel and slew him. In other words, he killed him. Right? Matter of fact, the word Cain, let's look up the meaning of the word Cain. Right? Because this is one thing about Israel. We always had something called like a Noma culture. Right? The name represented the spirit that you would grow into. Right? It says Cain possession goes into the root, which is Kwayan, which is what? Spear. Right? So his name represents spear. Right? He's right? And he bears the sword. He's the man that bears the sword. According to his blessing as Esau. Right? Verse 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? He lied right there, right? He lied. And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground. And now thou art cursed from the earth, which had opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. Right? Arar.
Strong's H 779. Arer. Arer.
To be cursed. Right? To lay under a curse, to put on a curse, to be made cursed. All right? Go back real quick. It says, When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. And that's what he surely is, a fugitive and a vagabond, a wanderer. The word vagabond means wanderer. Right? It says, And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth. From thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone findeth me shall slay me. Verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, Therefore, whosoever slayed Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord said, A mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. So let's look up that word mark real quick. The word mark here is oath.
Strong's H 226. Oath. Oath.
A signal, a distinguishing mark, a banner, a remembrance, a miraculous sign, a omen, a warning, a token of insight, a standard, a miracle proof. Right? So let's look up this word omen.
Omen prediction.
Omen, an event regarding as a portent of good or evil. The ghost appearance was an ill omen. A rise in importance and import might be an omen of recovery. Prophetic significance. The raven seemed a bird of evil omen, right? In the thesaurus or synonyms, the ferocious storm began on our wedding day. Perhaps it was an omen of things to come. Portent, sign, signal, token, forewarning, warning, foreshadowing, prediction, forecast, prophecy, harbinger, augury, straw in the wind, writing on the wall, indication. Keyword, indication. Right? So let's go to what was being indicated. What was indicated? This is Genesis chapter 25. And we're going to go to start at verse 22. Right? It says, and the children struggled together with her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. So when you look up the word struggle, they say what to fight. Right? Struggle, rashash, to crush, to oppress, to be crushed, grievously oppress, crush, right? To struggle, to be bruised, right? Let's come this word bruise here real quick. All right, let's go into it. Same thing, man. Bruise, crush. Yeah, so like, yeah. I would say the same thing because it come up in the meaning here. All right, so the children struggle together within her. Your brother just read, good is set against the evil and life is against death. So up to the 3 and 14. Right? So they was fighting even from the womb. Because one spirit represented righteousness and one represented wickedness. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. The one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger, which is prophecy to happen. This is the book of Genesis, the first book, the headings. And this prophecy hasn't been fulfilled as yet, but it soon happen when Yahushua comes, right? And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, twins were in her womb, right? So it was two what? It was paternal twins, but not identical. They share the same mother, but not the same. They share the same womb, but not the same. Not identical in appearance. And the first came out red. So this is the omen. The first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And they call his name Esau. Right? Ishashua. Right? Esau.
Strong's H 6215. Esau.
Right? So that was the omen. Right? He came out red and hairy as a garment. Right? And after that came out his brother's hand and took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. Isaac was 70 years old when he bare them, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Right? You have anything to bring out that?
Can I read Genesis? I don't know if you can pull it up so you could go into the word from Babakasha. Genesis 36:8.
Genesis 36?
Yeah, and 8. Start at 8.
Genesis chapter 36, verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom.
You could go into that word Edom.
Right?
Strong's H 123. Edom. Edom or
Edomite. Idumean. Idumean is a Greek way of saying
Edom.
saying Edom. Nah, this ain't giving it here. Right, but we will bring it out. He said, none of Esau, right? The land of Edom, Idumea, land south and southeast of Palestine. Right? Says Strong's definition. Red, Edom, the elder twin brother of Jacob, hence the region Idumea occupied by him. Edom, Edomites, Idumea. Right?
All right, can you read next verse now? 9? Yeah, 9.
All right. Verse 9, Genesis 36 and 9. Descendants of Esau. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir.
You go in a wood Seir.
right? Seir, hairy or shaggy.
Strong's H 8165. Seir. Seir.
Right? Hairy. So that is the sign. That is the omen. A hairy man and a red man. Who are one nation of people is that? You
Yeah, if I'm
understand?
not,
Only,
if I'm not
only
mistaken,
the,
it's like if I'm not mistaken, the Horites, because I say patriarch of the Horites. You have to clarify this. The Horites were the ones that were dwelling in the land before, right? Either before or he took wives of the Horites, right? I think that's how it went. Go ahead, you're saying
yeah, even when you jump down to verse 40,
40.
right? It says, and these, yeah, and these are the names of the dukes that came of Esau, according to the families after their places, by their names Duke Timnah, Duke Alva, Duke Jetha, Duke Aholibah, Duke Elah, Duke Pinon. So who one nation is be calling themselves Duke? You can even go on Google and you'll see the Edomites coming up. Anytime you point that Duke, so near one nation of people is called themselves the Duke. And that is the Edomites today. So this is signs. This is the omen. And that is it I have there. I don't know what you have.
Yeah, come. So let's go into the prophecy concerning them. Right? Let me just check back here. Shalom to the Akin one coming board, Jeremiah, Psalm, take heed Israel. Psalms 119 and 155. Salvation is far from the wicked. They seek not thy statutes. Can. It says Psalm 58, 2-3. Ye in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands. In the earth, the wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as they be born, they speak in lies, right? So these are the identifying markers of who the Edomites are, right? Who they are. They identify the scripture say the tongues will tell upon themselves, and then also they will the scripture in Malachi say what? They shall be known as the borders of wickedness. Let's get that real quick. This is Malachi chapter 1, right? And verse 3, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains, right? And his heritage reached for the dragons of the wilderness, whereas Esau said, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord had indignation forever. Now, guess what? They shall be known as the border of wickedness. Guess what? Ishmael is not known as the border of wickedness. As a matter of fact, Israel do wickedness. They are some of the first slave traders. But guess what? This wickedness goes back to who? Job 9:24. Right? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So this man is identified. Job chapter 9, I'm going to get verse 24. Right? So Ishmael doesn't rule the world. And as a known fact, all the money that they have, Ishmael, they're going to build in the desert to stay by themselves. Right? They create Dubai and other cities. Right? Interlinear real quick. You know, I can do this easier. Let me do this easier. It will save me. Job 9:24. Wicked. Right? When you look up the word wicked, it goes into what? Wicked, criminal, guilty one guilty of a crime. Right? So who is guilty of a crime? Guilty of sin. Right? Rasha is the word.
Strong's H 7563. Rasha. Rasha.
Right, that's Esau. Going back to this sorry, that's Cain. Going back to Cain. Right? And that oath or mark, identifying mark or omen or portent sign came on Esau. Right? Now we can go deeper into it. Psalm 73. Right? I was envious of the
If I may say it.
Go ahead.
You go ahead. When you're done.
All right, there's Psalm 73. David said, and 3, for I was envious of the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their debt, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. We see this constantly cases and judgment, right? An Edomite might be all erratic out there in the streets with a gun, right? And the cops will quicker negotiate with him. But a black man, they feel threatened and they shoot him down, right? A black man getting maximum for an offense. They get the maximum time for an offense, whereas Esau is shown leniency. It says, therefore, pride compass them about as a chain and violence cover them as a garment. Now, the scripture describes Esau as being the most proud. You know, they are the most proud of the earth. There's the proud coming in second place is Moab, right? You see, they boast about their army, the military. Violence cover them as a garment. You know, going back to the conquistadors, the Portuguese and the Spanish, Edomites, they conquered, right? And they killed out all the natives, right? Or the majority of the natives, they enslaved. Violence, right? When they go into the history of the things that they've done to the natives, right? Slicing over open bellies of pregnant women, stomping on the children, better than that, cutting off the breasts, right? All these different things, making it, you know, alligator bait our children. There's violence covering them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than their heart could wish. As Esau, they can never have enough, right? They are corrupt and they speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily, right? You have the Guyanese prime minister, right? He did an interview with some English newscasters, and they was inquisitioning him on his stance on how it is what's the word they use, like they wanted to make reparations for slavery, right? And they had a bold, condescending type of attitude concerning it. It's like, how much money are they looking at, right? How much money are they think they deserve this type of way? You understand? And it's like, well, or they want a castle. And he was like, no, we want no castle because we build them castles for y'all. We build the castles as the slaves. Now he's an Elamite, and well, he looks like an Elamite. He may be a Jake, you know, through the spirit, he might be a Jake, right? But he defended it well. But there was two Edomites that were speaking to him, and they were basically in the spirit of speaking wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. Let's look up the word loftily real quick, right? The word loftily, they speak of height or elevation, or elevated place, right? Of nobles, right? The scripture says we're bringing this message to the gate of the nobles, which is that you Edomites will go back to the bankers, you're going to be destroyed, right? Which we're going to get, okay? We're going to get it. We're going to bring out your judgment, right? The Ishmaelites, they're not Edomites. And color doesn't matter at this stage, because the scripture says the angels, the reapers, they're going to separate you, the wheat from the tares and the sheep from the goat, right? Israel has been scattered. You have one by people the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and we have been scattered. That was part of the curse, to be scattered in all the nations. And guess what? By nature, what we do, we tend to spread our seed. Okay, we spread our seed, right?
I wanted to touch on that precept with the brother Paul about the wicked exchange from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born speaking life. And I go back to the that rebirth at the Renaissance period when Esau came back into power from the Borgia family, the crime family. As you went into that word, it says crime, right? Crimson, crime. When you look it up, they show that the crime family is the Borgia family, and that when they had the rebirth. Okay, so they're strained from the womb. That womb go back to birth, right? The rebirth when they came back into that power, as you read in Malachi 1 and 4. They say they will return and build them desolate places. So when they return, they build, right? But the Lord say He will throw down, unless we coming to do. He coming to throw down their power structure, their power, because the scripture say, you know, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. We are next.
Yeah.
So it's evident that he's a so-called white man. The scripture say them will be ruling in the last days. Babylon, Right? Esau, Edom will have the rulership in the last days, the Edomites. So who else? That would die Job 9 and 24. If not him, who else it is?
Hey, there's 2 Ezra 6. 2 Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, which is what? The cutting off of this time, this wicked rulership, and the beginning of everlasting righteousness, right? The end of Esau and the beginning of Jacob. It says, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follow it? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, and when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. We read that in Genesis 25.
Here they carry it straight back to Jacob and Esau birth. The red man, we brought out earlier the red man, and they bring out Jacob. That was a strange thing, a strange birth.
Yeah,
right?
and
That is the sign. That is the omen.
The whole purpose of Esau having them wives, right? When you go back to the whole purpose of Esau having them wives of Ham and wives of the Egyptian, right? The Egyptian, and the Ishmaelite, right? Was for him to darken up his color. Right? Was for him to darken up his color because he was the son of the curse. He was the generation of the cursed son, of the cursed man. Right? That was the purpose of it. So by you being all bewildered, how could you say that the Ishmaelite is not Edomites or however he was saying it, right? Or the Edomites is the Ishmaelites or whatever, right? Guess what? At the end of the day, the angel's gonna come and they know the spirit of all. They know the spirit of all these people. All right? And they're gonna separate them and gather them and bundle them up, the Edomites, and after 1,000 years of slavery, they're gonna be rounded up and put into the fire. All right?
Because not all white man, so-called white man is Edomites. Not all dark-skinned people is Jakes or Africans. Is that Esau among the same way? You understand? So that's why the angel have to come and separate the tails from the wheat and the sheep from the goats. And that is a strategic plan from the Heavenly Father. Because if Esau against Israel, he want to wipe us out as a people. If Esau was to try to aim at us as a dark skin race or as how we look as Israelites, he will have killed his own people as well. And he still can't kill Israel because we are Israel looking like him as well. You understand? The Heavenly Father do that to hide us among these nations. So he can't kill us out. Israel will be as the sand of the sea. And as touching back as when you say when he went on to them heathen, that's showing his nature and all. When he went on to the Ishmaelite woman and the African woman, the Hamite woman, like he nature. When Jacob was just a plain man dwelling in tent, you know, he went and was married among the Syrian and them.
He followed his mother to go and marry, go by her brother, right?
Right, the neighbors.
Yeah.
And he married. When Esau went among the heathen and them who we don't link with, you know, who we don't link with them Hamites. You understand? We see Samson did that, but we Heavenly Father do it because the Heavenly Father, you know, he's the potter. He in charge of all things. He's the puppeteer. He control every spirit, right? So he controls Samson to pick wives among these Hamites to bring war between the Philistines and Israel.
And
for Samson to deal with them.
In the end, Samson killed more of them in his death than when he was alive, and he killed a whole heap. You understand?
That's right. And that was the plan of that. That's the only reason he had Samson liking these women, painted in the spirit to like these women. Right? But them. Esau just had that because there's heathen. So Esau had that in him. That's his nature. To be with these heathen because he's the head of these heathens. When you read Psalms the 83rd chapter, you see Esau is the head of the heathens. He in charge. Right?
God.
And that's the main movie right now. Any movie is the good and against the evil as we brought out. Good is set against evil. Jacob and Esau, going back to the beginning as well. Right? Good is set against evil. The son of God against the son of the wicked.
Yeah, let me just read out, finish off this 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. So he have to be here right now in the end. This is the end. You see, the end is manifest. All these storms, earthquakes, so-called natural disasters. Isaiah 29 verse 6. Was the Solomon 16:16. All these other different scriptures that come together to show that these signs, Matthew 24, these signs will be the signs at the end, right? So who's going to be ruling in the end, right? Who's going to be, Esau is going to be ruling in the end according to prophecies. And the Lord said, what? Not a jot, not tittle shall pass till all his words be fulfilled. Okay? Zechariah, hopefully, yeah, this one read out this, hopefully, Zechariah 11.
Yeah, go ahead.
Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not, right? But guess what? The Lord say all our riches is his, right? They're going to be used to build the kingdom. And guess what? The Lord is our shepherd, and he does pity us. And he said, what? I was with in all your afflictions, I was afflicted, right? And he said, what is our righteous thing to recompense them that trouble thee? You know? So judgment is going to fall upon you Edomites, right? The son of Cain, the descendants of Cain. You was going to say something now?
I lost that thing. I can't remember what I was
going to say. Lamentations, Gemistic Lamentations chapter 4 verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked. Right? Verse 22. It says, the punishment of thine iniquities accomplished, O daughter of Zion, which is Israel, 12 tribes. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. Right? He will discover thy sins. You know? So, when the Lord comes, he's going to... he will discover thy sins. Sorry, wrong one. Right? He will discover thy sins. So when the Lord comes, Esau is going to be held accountable. He's going to be punished for all the charges that are laid against him. Right? That's what's going to happen. He's going to be held accountable for all the charges laid against him. Right? It says...
As you say that.
Go ahead.
As you say that, you will be held, right? Now, the scripture say in the law, if you steal a man and he be found in your hand, right? That man should be put to death. So when the Lord come, the nation going to be found in Esau hand, the nation of Israel, and he steal a man, he didn't restore us back to our land, and he steal us and take us from our land. Did he restore us? He was glad with the Balfour declaration that he rejoiced when he get our land in possession. And that was something he was real glad about. Right?
Yeah.
So when the Lord comes, he go and kill that man. That man had to die. That man had to be put to death. Because he go and tag 2/3 of the people at the nation of Israel. He go and tag them.
Try to brand them underneath himself.
Alright. So he gonna be found in his hand and he gonna be put to death. So that is why he gonna be wiped out. And this piece of real quick. Let's a plug in. Just see that there's Deuteronomy 25 and 17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way. Who is Amalek? Amalek is that Edomite as well. Right? Esau had 5 sons. When you go back to when you go back to even Genesis 36, you will hear 5 sons. Right? So like the family of the Edomites. Amalek is a Edomite. And this is what happened to Amalek according to Obadiah as well. What gonna happen to Esau? And there's something where Moses wrote as well. Remember what Amalek did unto thee, by the way, when he will come forth out of Egypt, how he met thee, by the way, and smote the hindmost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou wast faint and weary, and he feared not power. Therefore it shall be, when the Lord Yahweh thy power had given thee rest from all thine enemies round about, in the land which the Lord Yahweh thy power giveth thee, for an inheritance to possess it. So this talk about the kingdom as well when we get back our land, right? When he put us back in our land and give us rest from all these nations, right? He says that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven, thou shalt not forget. So we mean blot him out. That is what Obadiah say. Right? Or was that Obadiah 1 and 18? Wipe them out from after they've served the 1,000 years slavery, wipe them out. No more the nation of Esau, Edom. You understand? Out of heaven. We don't know what the Most High will do with your spirit, because spirits don't die. But whatever you feel to do with it, you do. But we know Esau gonna be wiped out. Amalek gonna be wiped out. Go ahead.
Yeah. I just had a little bit on the your man mentioned the Horites. Alright.
Can.
This is Genesis chapter 14 and verse boom 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 boom. Verse verse 5. And in the 14th year of Shedlomah, in the 14th year came in the 14th year of Shedlomah, and the kings that were with him, and smote Rephaims and Ashtaroth and Canaim and the Zuzims in Ham, and all the Emims in Shaveh Kiriathim, which these are all Canaanite tribes, right? And the Horites in Mount Seir unto El Paran, which is by the wilderness. So you see what? In Mount Seir. So Esau went and had laid up with them the Horite woman, right? He laid up with the Horite woman. That's what happened. That's how he was trying to darken up his complexion. You see? So I just wanted to bring out that this is Genesis 16 and 12. It says, let me see if I can put this one up on the screen. My bad. Genesis 16 and 12. This is Genesis 16 and start at verse. Yeah, this is concerning Ishmael. I start at 11. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, that thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord had heard thy affliction, and he will be a wild man, and his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. And she called the name of the Lord, and she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, Thou God seest me, for she said, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me? Wherefore the well was called Beer Lahai. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. And Hagar bare Abram a son, and Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare him, Ishmael. Right? So Ishmael is what is known as the wild man. You see them. What's your behavior? If you ever see them videos with Ishmael with them cars and them in the desert, the wild ass. Right? The wild ass. Look at that. Wild ass. Right? The sense of running wild. In the secondary sense of running wild. Right? Ishmael, he's a wild man. But to bear fruit, he's very fruitful. Ishmael is very fruitful as well. Para, that's the root word of his name. Of wild man. To bear fruit. He's a very fruitful man. You know, they have generations. You know, I remember that the video. We was all talking about that video with the white man asking him how much children he have, and he have how many different children. And he would say he would ask the white man he would say how much wives he had.
17 children. He had 17 children and 84. He had 84 wives, I believe, and no. 17 wives with 84 children.
Right. And the white man had one, and he laughed. It's like
that was funny.
Like he funny bone by telling me I have one wife. Yeah, son. Ultimately he not fulfilling his duty as a man. Right? Yeah, where was reading from? Oh, I was reading from Ezra. We'll jump back to 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 18. And it said, Behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. And I will begin to make inquisition of them that they be what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, Then will I shew the tokens, the books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. So what we see, right, according to the book of Daniel 12, I think it was, the book was hidden, right? Habakkuk said that in the end the book shall be open. Now the book is open, and who can read it? The elect, right? The hopefully elect, they could see and they could read it. And this is what we manifest onto the people. Go ahead.
Yeah, because he tell Daniel, seal the book until the end. Right? And who come and break that seal? Yahushua, Revelation 5. And then he give it to his disciples. And what happened today? The disciples raise back up and, each one teach one. Bring it to faithful men who will teach others also. The fathers was raised up, will bring it to the children. He say you'll send back Elijah the prophet before that great and dreadful day of the Lord, who will bring it to the fathers and the fathers to the children. So that is what happened. So we get back the knowledge. So only we can understand it. The scripture say the wicked wouldn't understand. So that guy with that video there, yeah, he could be probably a wicked one. He don't understand. He don't have the mystery to the book. Say he revealed the secrets unto the servants, the prophets. You may be not a prophet of the Lord. I just said. That false prophet and that the prophets as you brought out earlier, Jeremiah 3 and 15, who will feed you with wisdom and knowledge.
In Matthew 24.
Other people. Oh, go ahead. Other people paying
let me just read it. Let me just read this as you just said. Matthew 24 and 5. For many shall come in my name. Right? This is verse 3. And he sat upon the Mount of Olives, and the disciples came to him privately, saying, Tell us, what shall these things be? What shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? So these two things they wanted to find out: the sign of the coming of the Lord and the end of the world. And he said, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, right? Saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many, right? And shall deceive many. So he came in the spirit of I'm a teacher. But not everybody speaking should be heard, right? Not everybody speaking should be heard, right? And he's one of them that should not be heard. Okay? We get real quick.
Yeah, because
let me just play back real quick.
And his comes out to be the palest white people today.
Every nation in history has a record of being dark. The Arabs are dark. The Africans dark.
Because when they check him out, he's a mock and a score for watching the page. Some of them camp members is Esau too. Because he watching the color, right? He not dealing with knowledge.
Spirit, he knew it.
He not dealing with spirit. Yeah.
He should just say, judge not according to appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Should just say spirit made with our spirit that we are the children of our. Right? So they're going to have Edomites looking men, white men, that looking white men, but the spirit in them is Jake.
Hey,
we see that with Eminem.
Can Yappa example, because no one say like I was just scrolling through looking for things to do video. I was calling video food on TikTok this morning, and I think I saw like 5 or 7. It looking like it would be, if you watch it by our parents, it would look like Hamitic boys, right? It would look like Hamitic boys, but guess what? Or Hamitic children, sorry, right? Dancing with one Edomite looking woman in the back. But guess what? All of them could have danced. Because this Edomite looking woman, she was in time, she was in rhythm, right? Which is something that Esau don't have. Esau don't have time, right? And the children, they was phenomenal dancers. They were phenomenal dancers. And as a cut, he put up these women here as Hamites. You see this woman right here with the blue? The biggest one? That's the one in Black Panther, if I'm not mistaken. As
yeah, I know the woman.
Spy?
The spy, right?
Yeah, she a Jake. She's a Jake.
She a Jake.
Yeah.
So you judging according to appearance, but most I don't show we don't judge according to that.
Yeah, let's play more.
He mixed with Ishmael's seed, being dark, and his seed comes out to be the palest white people today. that you cursing out on the street corners and calling them the Edomites, basically saying they're Hebrews. This is foolishness and ignorance. Zambia
Yeah. So
and Bashmath.
he doesn't know what he's speaking. You know, he doesn't
I'm a
understand.
preacher for that guy.
Yeah.
There's Revelation 2 and verse 2. Says, I know thy works and thy labor and thy patience, and how thou canst not bear them which are evil, and thou hast tried them which say they are apostles and are not, and hast found them liars. Okay, he trying to defend that white man.
Yeah.
How he trying to do that? So he probably under the 501c3 charter, tax exempted, you know, to teaching lies. But we not under that order.
Yeah.
We here to bring the truth, 100% truth, and we here at GMS, we have that. Right? From our apostles on down, we have that. So we here to teach no lies, we here to bring the truth. The so-called white race, the Edomites, I will say the white race, the Edomites is the nation that curse where the Lord have indignation forever. Who are the enmity between us, Jacob, against Esau forever, until the Lord comes and take him out of power. We know read it in Second Esdras that he will have the power in these last days. Right? Our next one in Ezekiel for you. Right? Ezekiel 35 and 5, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Said thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. Right? So it had an enmity between us. And I go back to the garden. Right? Between her seed and thy seed. Right? We see that enmity between the whites, the so-called white race, the Edomites, and us in Babylon. We see that in Babylon. We see that with this man name, George Floyd, with the KKK clan, with the police suits today. We see that enmity. As a Jay come out in the streets, he could have a brush, he getting shut down in the streets by the cops, and that was happening for years. Right? So we see the enmity. So how we explaining that? When you go to the very next chapter in Ezekiel 36 and 5 again, it says, therefore thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, right? The heathen, and against all Idumea. Who's Idumea? Edom. The Greek we are seeing Edom, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart. What they talking about? They're talking about the Balfour Declaration, the joy that they get when they have the land, right? When they get the land in that is what 1948,
Yeah.
right? Right? It says, with the despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey, right? So they rejoice when they get the land. The scripture say, a bastard will dwell in Ashdod. How we explaining all that? The scripture say, the psalmist David said, through thy precept I get understanding, therefore I hate every false way. This way get the understanding by precept upon precept, line upon line. Right? This what we doing here, rightly dividing the word of truth. He didn't rightly divide it before he made that stupid video. Talking about the whites like he defending the whites. The whites is not to be defended. The whites is the one with the curse, and he is to be destroyed. He is the one who has the power today. Yeah, brother, go ahead.
Real quick, Isaiah 11 and 3. And he shall make him a quick understanding in the fear of the Lord, and he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears, but with righteousness shall he judge the poor, with equity for the meek of the earth, the meek of the earth, and he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. Right. Isaiah chapter 41 and 21. It says, produce your cause, say the Lord, and bring forth your strong reasons, say the King of Jacob, which he didn't do in the video as he rightfully said, right? You know, you're just making erroneous statements, right? But you have to produce your cause, you know? Prove to us what you're saying concerning Ishmael and Esau, and Esau's seed. Esau's seed have to be black and all this stuff. Guess what? The scripture said Israel is like a speckled bird, right? You know, Esau changed up the concordances online, right? So much that they can't even get it back. But I remember SPECC. I don't know, spell this wrong. I will look it up and then I'll bring it back. Yeah. Esau changed it up. You know, when you look at that word speckle, long time, it used to bring you to one of the meanings used to say that as provender, Jeremiah 12 and 9. Right? It used to say as provender. When you look at provender, it's bird seeds, right? All right. I don't know if I'll be able to get it. Now, if Israel is as a speckled bird, and we know Esau went up into the land of the Horites and slept with the Horites, which are the Hamitic tribes, right? Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 9, my heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. Well, let's see if we can get it. I don't know if they change it up. Right? Colored, variated, or speckled, right? Strong's definition. Used to be here. I think it used to be here. Let me see if I can get any root. Used to be in the Hebrew lexicon Chaldees. Dyed stuff, dying colored. See, they change it up, right? You used to go to, used to get it meaning, as in provinder was the word used, but here they say what diverse colored, right? The KJV translates Strong's H6648 in the following manner: diverse colors, different colors, right? Different colors, right? But they used to say provinder. When you look at provinder, you used to show bird seeds being of different colors, right? Now Esau went up in the land of the Horites, and they also slept with the Ishmaelites, right? That's why the scripture speaks about the wheat and the tares. Right? Our duty is to preach and teach the truth. Right? This is Matthew chapter 13. And start at verse 24. Another parable, which is a riddle, put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. Okay, want to break it down?
And I even go back to when we was in slavery. He came in at night because he had us in captivity. So he came in at night and slept with our woman. Right? So when he slept with our woman, what the child will be looking, they call them mulattoes, I believe. Right? So we intermingle among us. So when the child born, what will be looking? He will looking Jakish, he will be looking whitish, and continue that. Now he will keep the children alive and he will kill the sometimes even when Esau go on a journey, you understand, the white woman will force herself on the slaves men, because we had the tool, we had that we had that goods.
Yeah, that prudent hook.
So and when the child born, they see that child come out Jakish, dark skin. They will kill the slave, they will inquire and kill the slaves, and they will leave the children alive. Right? So he intermingle himself among the so that will create that tares. Go ahead.
I just want to come back up verse 24 said they talk about the good seed. The good seed represents Israel. And the field is the world, right? The field is
That's
eroding,
right.
as your brother just broke down. When men slept is what the time of the slave trade, right? Man, and guess what? We were in slavery. We were not only in slavery in the time of the transatlantic slave trade. We were also slaves in the Babylon, in all the empires, So this is our work that was being done, right? The Babylonian, the Medo-Persian, right? The Greek, the Roman, right? We were in slaves, right? We were slaves, right? But while man slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat. Now the word tear is something which means closely resembling wheat, right? I'll just pull it out for edification's sake. Tares.
Strong's G 2215. Zizanian.
A kind of darnel resembling wheat, except the grains are black, right? So they sowed, except the grains are black. How ironic, right? How ironic.
God.
Yeah. How this pulling up? I can't get to get the images. I would like to get the images, but nevertheless. Right. But when the blades was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servant of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then had it tares? Right? You know, I remember the scripture, I think it's in Isaiah. They say, I have sown the the degenerate branch.
Like Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, right? So
Jeremiah 2, I believe, 220 something.
Jeremiah 2:21. You see, it says Jeremiah 2:21. Yet I planted thee a noble vine, holy, a right seed. Ooh, a right seed.
God.
How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? For though thou wash thee with nitre and take thee much soap, yet thine iniquity is marked before me, saith the Lord God. How canst thou say, I am not polluted? I have not gone after Baalim. See thy way in the valley, know what thou hast done. Thou art a swift dromedary, traversing her ways, a wild ass used to the wilderness, that snuffeth up the wind at her pleasure in her occasion. Who can turn her away? All they that seek her will not weary themselves in her mud, they shall find her. Withhold thy foot from being unshut, and thy throat from thirst. But thou saidest, there is no hope. No, for I have loved strangers, and after them will I go. Right? So that's Israel playing the whore, going after these different nations. Okay? According to Deuteronomy chapter 4, I'm going to get that real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 4. Going down. But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your power are alive, every one of you this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgment, even as the Lord my power commanded me. This was Moses speaking unto the children of Israel, that he should do so in the land whether he go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who had a power or God so nigh unto them, as Yahweh, our power, is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great that had statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? It says, only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen, unless they depart from thine heart all the days of thy life, but teach them to thy sons and thy sons' sons. So this was us when we were noble, right? When we was that generative vine or branch. But now then we became degenerate by transgressing, right? And through that degeneration, the curses come upon us, and the enemy sow the seed amongst us, so that become a change. You know, the parents of the tribes, right? Because we were supposed to stick together as a tribe, even all Judites with Judites, Benjamites with Benjamites. Because what will happen is that the man will inherit lands within the tribe. That's the inheritance would be lands, right? But then when they intermingle even with the tribes, what will happen? You will have you one tribe inheriting land in another tribe land, right? When they go deep into it, right? So it wasn't even supposed. We were not supposed to lie with these women outside, and we was not supposed to even intermingle with amongst ourselves a certain type of way, right? But what happened is that we broke the law, statutes, and commandments, and right, we were rubbed and spoiled. I'll put it like that. We were rubbed and spoiled, and guess what? The same way that our parents change is the same thing with what Esau intention with sleeping with these Hamitic and Ishmaelite nations, right? It was to bring his complexion back, right? But it wouldn't happen that way because the Lord ultimately wanted him to be marked, right? Remember, he begged for that as his forefather Cain. He begged for some way, that he not be killed. So he's still gonna come out either Edomitish or red, right? Matthew 13:27. So the servants of the household came and said unto him, so didst thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then had it tares? And he said unto them, an enemy had done this. So Esau is that enemy. The servant said unto him, will thou then that we go and gather them up? He said, nay, lest we gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Verse 30, let both grow together until the harvest, and in the time of the harvest I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn, which the barn represents what? Yeah, chariots, right? Get that really quick. Isaiah 29 verse 6 or 26 verse, I think it's 29 verse 6, right? 26 verse 9.
Isaiah 26:20. I know you're looking for. Come, my people, inside the chamber.
Yeah, can't Torah, yeah. Isaiah 26 verse 20. Come, my people, and enter thou into thy chambers, and shut the doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for our little woman, until the indignation be overpassed. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. And the earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. Right? So, the elect of the nation of Israel are going to go into the chariot, which is the bands, or which is also known as the ark. In this time, back then, in time of Noah, the ark was made out of gopher wood, but this time it's going to be the vehicles of Israel, the chariots of the Lord, right? And all eyes going to see it, and it's going to be the strangeness of our salvation, which we hopefully are praying about, are prophesying about, right? These are the nations, these are the camps. They're not already pushing the chariots. We push the chariots because they are ashamed of the Lord, and they're ashamed of the deliverance, right? How are we going to be delivered? Yeah.
There's Revelation 14:14, and I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, trust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud trust in the sickle and the earth on the earth, and the earth was reaped. Right? And I talk about it, but I'm not waiting to the elect. The earth was ripe with the elect, and it was reaped. And I see clusters when you go to Deuteronomy 32 as well. I don't know if you can get it.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 32. Even talk about the clusters in Isaiah as well. Let's see if I get that. Isaiah 11, I believe.
What do you want? Cluster in Deuteronomy 32?
Yeah. The daddy clusters, you got the good vine.
Come on.
Check point clusters and see that one in Isaiah. We will bringing that one after for the clusters of the earth.
I just put in cluster here for now.
Yeah, green cluster and see.
I have numbers. I have numbers.
Then come up in Isaiah.
Yeah, Isaiah 65 and 8. Thus say the Lord, as the new wine is found in the cluster, and one say, destroy it not, for a blessing is in it, so will I do for my servant's sake, that I may not destroy them all.
Right. And then that the one in second is just 22. No, sorry, 9. Second is, I'm gonna get it real quick. Second is just 9 and 20.
9 and 21.
21, it says,
Yeah.
you'll go ahead if you have it.
Right. I'll start at 20. Second is just 9 and 20. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that will come into it. Some of them devices is what like Esau saying, a man could be a woman, and a woman could be a man, and bestiality and all that crap, right? And I saw and spared it greatly, right? One of the devices also is the MOTB, saying that in the next form of money is going to be implantable see him, right? And which if you take that, that's an abomination unto Yahweh Shai. That's a branding unto another god, another idol, right? And I saw and I spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect.
I'd say that the cluster, the elect, that he kept for himself, and that is one he go and deliver on read Matthew 24. Let me read that real quick. Matthew 24. Matthew 24 verse 30. It says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory, and he shall send his angel with a sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds and from the ends of heaven, even to another. So he coming to gather, the earth was ripe, and it was reaped, so he gather he elect. Alright? Yeah, if you have anything, I'll continue reading in Revelation.
You go ahead.
Alright, Revelation 14 and 17. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out from the altar, right, which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, trust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth. So it's about clusters of the vine of the earth. So you can bring the Deuteronomy 32 now, Babakasha, 32.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 32. For their vine is of the vine of Sodom, and their fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are the grapes of Gal, and their clusters are bitter. For their wine,
so them clusters. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
For their wine is the poison of dragons and the cruel venom of asps.
Right, because them trust in what? The dragon, that red dragon, Esau Edom. Them put the trust in Egypt. So them was the vine of the earth, because we not the vine of the earth, we not of this world. We are dead to this world. Right? So Lord willing, we are part of the Lord elect. He comes to take the one that out of this world, to take them out of this world.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It says for her.
Which Revelation is that, Babakasha?
That Revelation 14.
All right.
I started at 14 going down to I reach 18 now. says, for her grapes are fully ripe, and the angel trusts in his sickle into the earth and gathered the vine of the earth and cast it in the great winepress of the wrath of power.
Mm-hmm.
So they was cast into that fire, that nuclear destruction. They was passing that we say he separated in the parable where you was reading, he separated the angels came, the reapers, right? And they gathered the ones into the barn, and the rest of them was burnt up. Right? And that is that fire, the nuclear destruction. Which Esau and 2/3 of our people and all these heathens were that in America, because America is that great that altar, which is to be offered up, that wine press, right? And wherever destined to be destroyed as well, certain parts of Europe, the land of Jerusalem and to be purified as well. And wherever there are nukes want to, wherever the nukes in it, that chariots coming because you see coming with fire and his chariots. So them chariots gonna be zapping people like they did in Numbers. If you have anything, brother.
Yeah, I just want to close with the final judgment. There's Isaiah, because you're gonna know who is Esau. When they see Esau, when they see the land of Edom getting judged, right? And they see the Edomites getting whipped. Right? It says Isaiah 34 and verse 34. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heaven shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth from the vine, and as from the fallen fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. So these are the people of the curse. These are the people with the mark, right? The thing devoted, or the thing dedicated, banned, devotion, the thing perforated, the thing being utterly destroyed, appointed to utter destruction. Esau is appointed to utter destruction.
That's right.
They are appointed to utter destruction. You have it here, Zechariah 14 and 11, and men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. Right? Shall come down upon the people of my curse. Right? Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness and with the blood of the lambs and the goats and with the fat of the kidneys of the rams. For the Lord had a sacrifice in Bozrah, which Bozrah is a chief city in Edom, but now is America, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood for their dust, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. Right? There's a judgment for Esau and Edom. Isaiah 63 and 1. God's vengeance on the nations. Who is this that cometh from Edom with thy garments from Bozrah? Right? It can be, as we said, it doesn't matter what they look like, but they're going to be destroyed. Right? Those who have the spirit of Esau and Edom in it, they're going to be destroyed. So if you want to take the color of Esau, issue a stumbling block, right? So what? The scripture say, what if some don't believe? Right? It says, who is this that cometh from Edom with thy garments from Bozrah, that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, which is the chariots, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thine eyes thy garment, and thy garments like him that treaded the wine fat, and have trodden the wine press alone. And of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in mine anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there were none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in my anger and make them drunk. In my fury, I will bring down their strength to the earth. You have anything else?
One here, there's Psalms 137, and verse 7 says, Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even the foundation thereof. It says, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall thou be that rewarded thee, as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dash lightly the one against the stone. So you dash those children against the stone. You cut out no woman belly, feed our children, and he that the brother brought out. We go and go back the same thing, you know, in that 1,000-year period. You understand? The scripture says to bind them with chains, the nobles wanted fetters of iron. When Yahushua comes, the Edomites going to be put in slavery, 1,000 years of slavery. And we're going to enjoy that. We're going to reward you as you reward us. And we scripture says double, reward them double. Right? So that was cleared up. You know, that man is a full prophet. He full words of that man. Don't follow that man, mark that man. Scripture says mark them that cause division. That is not sound doctrine. That is so. GMS, when you tune into GMS give all this sound doctrine.
So we'll close off. Let's read it. Hopefully, like says Psalms 149 and 9 to execute judge upon them the judgment written. This honor have all of his saints praising Yahweh. Right? Because they're going to be joined with Yahweh Shai, bringing that judgment. So with that, we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Shai, Kakodash, praise edifying. Shalom to the elect, Mawat Lababal, Abad Babal DTA. Shalom.
Shalom.